Blog Talk Radio.
Word. I'm going in. This what I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Watch how you move. 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 I'm going in. This how I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Watch how you move. 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 I keep it low key. They acting sus, don't approach me. I keep angels all around me. Only deal with them 100p. Once blind, but I too see. I'm too blessed to be worried about them. And they don't want me as they enemy. Cause my enemies is my God's problem. I hit the top from the bottom. Sold them the truth and they bought it. Y'all gon' get used to the slaughter. I be in check with the order. They be like, you stay them Jordans. I just cop them on, rock them. I just stack them in the closet. I ain't here to show my profit. I'm just here to raise the topic. Jesus Christ, my only option. Bigger checks me, bigger offerings. Could never pay back what it cost them. I just go in cause I know he's awesome. I'm in good hands like he's all state. I'm in the game like I'm all state. To see me go up, they cannot wait. I cannot take chances, so the chances are they gon' take a loss. My testimonies made a hard lessons. I'm in Abba's presence, this is his message. I'm a living weapon, he the living word. By the Holy Spirit, I done been immersed. I done been in Bentleys, I done been in furs. But you ain't been in nothing till you in a hearse. Better put I'm going in. This what I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Watch how you move. 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 I'm going in. This how I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Watch how you move. 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 Griffin beat the tracker for your boy. I put in work like a chore. He canceled my sin like a void. Favor falling, can't ignore it. I'm getting chips like a droid. Sauce dripping out my pores. But I'ma need something more. That major key that's from the source. I ain't looking for awards. I'm just working for the Lord. I just got them balls sharp as double-edged swords that'll leave you battle scarred. Fighting battles that ain't even ours. We ain't even under even odds. I only move by the cloud of fire. Y'all been misled by a falling lie. Holy Ghost is my supply. Holy smokes, I'm off the wire. I go from 1 to 1,000. Blessings on me, keep that coke and a smile. I've been down, it's been a while though. Since they hear me spit this pyro. The flow polar, call it cryo. When he coming back, only God knows. I'ma stay low till he say so. And move this word by the caseload. I'm upholding my G code. Y'all observing me in beast mode. I'm +1, that's a free throw. Y'all can see the his C note. I'ma walk out to him, catch a boat, and I'ma sleep sound, but y'all stay woke. I'm going in. This what I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Watch how you move. 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 I'm going in. This how I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Watch how you move. 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 Watch how you move.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted on purpose. So basically, this is when we just come, we ladies just come and just talk smack, and we just talk about whatever's on our little heart. And we already got one of the ladies on the line. Who's on the line now?
Well, our Marie is on the line. Hey.
What's going on? Oh, my gosh. So how has your week been, Marie? Or Marie.
Yes. I can't. It's been pretty good. It's been long, but because I basically don't do much but work. But I don't know. I've had a lot of time just to myself to just kind of do some inner reflection where I can make, changes, things that I see that I need to work on. But besides that, the week has been great. I'm noticing that, more people are getting out. Still not seeing that many people in a mask, but, some is better than none. And I'm going to have mine on, so, hey.
So, the new thing that they're talking about, the mask, have you heard the new, I don't know if they're conspiracy theories or reality theories or what kind of theories they are, but I've been hearing them say that if you wear the mask and you actually do have, the COVID, the coronavirus or whatever, or the SARS or whatever, actually your body's not building up immunity and it's keeping it in your system. Like that's what I've heard. Have you heard anything like that?
Okay. Say that again. If you wear the mask, what'll happen?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I want to make because I'm using.
Yeah, I can hear you. Isn't Misty? I logged in, y'all.
What's going on, Missy? Oh, today. So I through the grapevine of the Facebook social media grapevine, somewhere grapevine, that when you wear the mask, like not wearing the mask is forcing your body to build up antibodies. You know what I'm saying? It's forcing them to build up like immunity. But when you wear the mask, if you actually do have the COVID-19 or the SARS or whatever, you're rebreathing that into your body. Like it's staying in, it's causing it to stay in your body. Now I don't know if you've heard that before because I know you're more on the front lines right now than I am. What's going on? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Well, I just feel like it's safer without it because these are supposedly droplets that's in the air. So I feel safer with it on, but I do wash my mask. Let it air dry. Put it in the dryer. When I come in, I also disinfect my mask. I don't wear the same one over and over and over again. I switch every day.
Mm-hmm.
If it usually don't get dirty. If anything, a little makeup be on there. You got people like, there's something. What's on your mask? It's called lipstick, honey. It's a smear. It's okay. But I would rather have that. Now I don't always wear my gloves. And that because once you touch something with the gloves, they're contaminated.
Right. That's true.
So.
Well, I'm glad
I just had for on then.
Well, I'm
glad
glad
you been out, Patricia?
Huh?
Have you been out?
Have I been out like outside, like out in the atmosphere and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And please don't ask me, have you been wearing a mask? Don't ask me that question. Please don't ask me that.
Okay.
Because nurse to nurse, I already know that you're gonna be talking something. I don't know. I haven't been wearing a mask at all. In all honesty, I have not. I haven't worn it. So I'm like everybody's just wearing a mask. Kudos to y'all. I just feel like my body is. If I haven't gotten sick at this point, I feel like my body has already built up immunity or whatever. If a new strand comes out, I'll deal with it at that point. But I haven't. Because I just haven't. I have. So we have some other ladies on the line as well. Who else we got on the line today? What other lady came to talk with us?
It's me. It's Lynn John. I made it.
What's going on, Lynn? Now Lynn's in Atlanta. So Lynn, in Atlanta, or a lot of people is everybody wearing masks in Atlanta?
Let me tell you. The majority of our people in Atlanta are wearing the mask. Now, the other people are not. Still to this day, even though Georgia is so-called free, the state is open. Our people are not, they are still protecting themselves, myself included. When I go to the store, I wear a mask. Not always wear my gloves because now the sanitizer is coming out. The sanitizer is coming out down here in Georgia. I just picked some up from the Dollar General here in Georgia, so I don't wear the gloves anymore. But I do wear a mask when I go to the grocery store or something like that.
Okay. So some people say and tell me what you think about this. Some people say that the type of mask that we have, these masks that we're making out of cloth and cotton and things of that nature, are not really going to protect us from what it is that's causing the coronavirus. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Okay.
So, in the healthcare industry, and I used to work in the hospital as secretary, anytime somebody go into surgery, this is before COVID-19 came out, what do the doctors wear? The surgeons, they wear hospital masks. You really don't see, I never seen them wear no, was it the KN95 mask? And, I've seen them and I've ordered the mask, the regular blue hospital grade mask. But, if you wear the cloth mask, to me, something's better than nothing. Will it protect you from all viruses? Probably not, but will any of them, really?
Right. So you're right. In the medical field, when they're, especially when they're coming in close face-to-face contact with somebody who has an airborne disease such as, MRSA or SARS or tuberculosis or any of these, flu, they do generally wear a mask to protect themselves when they're in close face-to-face contact like that. Like because you got to understand, when these doctors and nurses go into these patients' rooms, they have to reach down in their personal space, take their blood pressure, take their temperature, so it's a lot different, versus being outside in the atmosphere. So, so I do understand.
Yeah, so the way I look at it, that's more sterile. To me, that's more sterile. Like, you can't get much more sterile than that. However, if you wear the cloth mask and you washing them and everything like that, that's just like your clothes, which they try to say COVID can get onto your clothes. So it's kind of like the same thing in a way, as long as you keep your cloth mask clean and wash whatever's on there when you come in. I guess that's another way to be sterile.
True.
Too, I guess.
Well, so how's your week been, Lynn? How's your week been? Is that
down here in Georgia? It's terrible. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. I can't take this COVID-19. I wish it had never, this pandemic or plandemic, whatever it is. I wish we go back to 2019 or something, because this is just horrible. The business is horrible down here in Georgia. It's awful. It's awful. It's the jobs, the unemployment rate is real bad down here. It was already bad. Now it's horrible. There's no jobs. It's awful. And I wish something can, come to, something's got to happen.
Yeah. Well, I pray that things definitely get better for you versus, whatever you've been going on this week. I pray it gets better for you. So I want to switch over to the next person that's on the line. 942 is your number. There's another lady on the line. Hello. Is that I don't know. Is that Deshaun? I don't know whose 942 number that is. 614-942. Okay, we'll come back.
That's me. 942-9176.
Oh, Misty, that's you, Misty. Okay, so Misty.
Yeah.
When you, first of all, let me ask you. How has your week been?
Well, you already know the half of it and the other half, so I'm still maintaining. I have noticed my blessings within it, because the Lord still blessed me within all of it. I'm recognizing the blessings once I get my little quiet space. So, it could be worse than what it is. So, I'm not complaining or anything. It is what it is. The only person could change it is the Lord. I can just change my part. I got to do my part. So that's about it. I'm just going with the flow, like I always do. Hey, I'm just still trusting and believing in the Lord, and He's able, and I'm keeping the faith and I got more than must see, but I'm keeping it pushing. Hey, it is what it is.
You know what? You are such a strong mother, and what I do want to say to you, because I understand storms. See, a lot of people don't understand storms, but I understand storms, and I understand that storms come in seasons, and everybody's storm is not the same. So, like, the storm that you may be going through right now, just know it's only temporary. Even though it may seem like overwhelming and like, oh my gosh, how can this be happening to me? And how can I cannot take another blow. Like, I done took so many freaking blows. Like, I don't even think I can stand through it, but you can. God made you strong. So just know that what you're going through right now is temporary. Everybody in this season is going through something. Everybody may not talk about what they're going through, and everybody's storm may not be the same, but them storms are still fierce in those people's lives. So just know God made you strong, and you gonna get through it. So I got a question for you. When you drive down, like, let's say Livingston Avenue or somewhere familiar, doesn't it just break your heart to see that this is not the America or the Columbus, Ohio that we grew up in? Like, this whole plandemic, whatever you want to call it, it's just like, it breaks my heart when I drive down. I see all the stores that have recently closed down because of this. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And it's just like how do you keep your spirits up during when you see so much changes, so many closing, so many people, going through stuff? Like, what do you do to keep your spirits up? Because maybe that might encourage somebody else who may be going through something right now.
Well, for me, I look at it as if there's something I can do, so the Lord always gives me different visions and stuff like, okay, well, I can do this. You can do this for this area or for, I don't know who it's for, but He's putting like a whole bunch of different visions in my peripheral, that I'm just like, okay, this store closed down, but what can we do to build the community up? We have to reach these children, so He's given me several different ministries that is going to reach the communities to where it's going to show all of us coming together as one. So, with that faith, the more, more than the mustard seed of faith, my inspiration coming from the Lord, because He's giving me stuff, and He's showing me that these ministries that He's putting into me is going to lift up and build up the community, and everybody will come together as one because it's going to help everybody. I got one ministry that ties into 5 different ones. It's one ministry, but we're going to have 5 different outreach type, community resource type things for the community, for different age groups and everything. So it's going to really be something really big. So, I just look at it as something spiritual is about to happen. And I just, thank God that He's giving it to me. And sorry, y'all, I'm just kind of busy over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and mute the phone while y'all on, okay? Because I got to handle this real quick. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So I want to go on down the line to the next lady who's been waiting so very patiently. Your phone number is 919. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are right off the bat. Back in the day, we knew her phone numbers at heart. You could call grandma and you remember her phone number. You could call your cousin. You could call your friend. You knew them numbers. Now you don't know nobody's number. I don't know nobody's number. So who is it?
It's Dr. A. Marie. I called you from a different number.
Dr. A. Marie in house. A. Marie in the house. We got a R. Marie and a Dr. A. Marie. So, how's your week been, Dr. A. Marie?
My week has been very good.
You had a good week?
It's all about perspective for me, yes.
So I got a question for you, Dr. A. Marie, because I know the type of work that you do. You're a psychologist or whatever. You counsel people, you're a therapist. So In the midst of everything that's been going on, have you seen the number of people reaching out to you that are suicidal or that are going through stuff increase and requesting your services? Has it been like a large like boost, or have people not been reaching out for that mental emotional counseling? What have you seen?
It's been 100% plus increase in calls and people wanting video therapy, et cetera, et cetera. What I have not seen increase are African American people, our people. I have not seen that increase.
So African Americans are not reaching out for help right now?
Not in greater numbers than pre-COVID.
Wow. Wow. You would think
and
that
the stress levels are higher, and the abuse is higher, the domestic violence is higher. All of the numbers are going up.
It is. And it breaks my heart to even think about the child abuse cases that are going higher, or the straining relationship. Like when you was on that last time with Dr. Bessie Fletcher, we were talking about the mother-daughter relationships, the family relationships, what's going on within the home. I know that stress level is on 10 because everybody's not receiving unemployment, or everybody's not working, or everybody doesn't have that financial support. So you got that stress, and then your own personal, everybody has their own personality, and how they handle stress is different, and everybody can't handle the way everybody else, like somebody might say something to you, and you might take offense to it now, but you wouldn't have before the coronavirus. Like now, nobody can say too much, and it's just like boom. What are your thoughts?
Stress levels are definitely higher. And I think a lot of it has to do with, values. A lot of it has to do with perspective. How do you view what's going on? If you listen to the media, they put a spin on it. If you listen to the conspiracy theorists, they put another spin on it. People really don't know where to turn to.
Right.
The ground is uncertain. Everybody's on shaky ground. I don't know what's going to happen when I step my foot down. What's the next step going to bring? The ground is already crumbling underneath me. I don't know where my next meal is going to come from. I don't know when my children are going to go to school. I don't know if I'm going to have a job. So part of the problem is perspective. People are also resistant to change. We as a people don't like change.
Right.
And things are changing. We must change with the times. We must adjust.
It's like whatever was today may not be tomorrow, and whatever was tomorrow may not be next week. Like it's changing quickly. Like the transition is happening quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the line so everyone can talk. But if you're not talking, put your phone on mute so that we don't hear your background noise, and just unmute it when you want to say something. I don't want to have everybody locked down where they can't speak, but the background noise is kind of distracting sometimes. So I'm curious, and I don't know who wants to answer this question first. Maybe Marie. Maybe I'll go down the line, or just jump in where you fit in, as long as we just don't over talk each other, which I'm trying my best to learn not to do that. So Maria. I know, because I'm bad with it. I need to go to class of not cutting people off. So
when you go to it, take me with you. Take me with. First, I want to answer. I not answer, but I want to add to the question you were saying. I've asked a couple people, our people, and I'm like, this COVID, I'm finding that a lot of the older African American community, they are wearing masks and they are a little concerned. But one older guy told me, one of my clients, we were watching the news while I was doing his visit, and I said, well, you don't seem to be too shaken up, and because he's in, he's well in his maybe late 70s, early 80s, and he just said, Black people have always had a hard time. He said when we had the recession before, we were already recessed. So, I mean, life didn't really change for us. He said, so, I mean, that could be why you're not getting, you all upset because black people are masking up and on television and saying that, we're dying in the masses far more than everybody else, where a lot of conspiracies are they didn't put something in there to kill the black people. And then I've been telling you for the last few weeks, I'm not seeing black people masked up, but, if you're used to having hard times or you haven't ever really gotten ahead, then this is really not hurting you, because I asked my brother, I'm like, well, because when they were like, well, you got to go in quarantine and we're going to be locked down, and a lot of people were panicking, my brother was like, well, I mean, hell, I did 2 years in prison. When you locked down on a 6x9, I could stay in my whole house. I'm not mad. I was like, oh, okay. Never did it even occur to me like, wow, because he's already been confined, so this was nothing for him. So, I don't know.
I'm curious because I'm actually on Facebook Live, so I'm wondering and I just want to say hello to all the people who are watching on Facebook Live. But I'm just curious if y'all want to say any questions, if y'all have any questions that y'all want me to read online, read or say. What's going on, MBJ Live? What's going on, Robert Williams? What's going on, Elder Chris? What's going on, Ray Johnny Williams, Livingston Adair? Dave Richardson, everybody. So if y'all have any questions that y'all want me to ask the ladies, that you don't want to call in, you can text. You can put them up on the. You can put them up on the live. Otherwise, you can call in and join the conversation. 516-387-1247. So I don't know. I understand what you. I know, like when I'm out and I see people with the mask, I know they're probably looking at me like, why are you not wearing a mask? And I guess I'm just not, because I just feel like I feel like at this point in the game, because I've been in Atlanta and I've been in Chicago, I just feel like, in Columbus, I just feel like I must have antibodies at this point that has immunity to it, or else I would be. If I am a carrier and don't know it, I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't been sick, and I guess I don't know. I'm not. I guess please don't hang me at the cross and nothing like that. But I just was like, I don't want to wear them. I don't. At the time when I was like, wear your mask, it's because I felt, and probably also because I got some conspiracy theory type stuff rolling around in my head. So I just feel like at the point when I was wearing my mask was because it was in the atmosphere, and it is not in the atmosphere right now, although there are some people who are still sick or whatever. So I don't know, because we don't know if they're calling everything COVID-19 at this point. Everything is coronavirus. If you go in there with a stomach ache and you got diarrhea, that's coronavirus. If you go in, you cough 2 times, you might have asthma, or you might be allergic to pollen, or there might be something else. You might be having a bad allergic reaction to anything, but everything is COVID-19. Everything is coronavirus now. So it's just like, we've always had a flu type stuff, everything, all the stuff going on in the atmosphere, all the stuff going on in the world, and we ain't never wore masks. So I just, I have my conspiracy theories, y'all. I'm sorry, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't believe what the media is saying. That's just me, though. So what are your thoughts, Lynn? Because I know you wear masks like Marie.
Yeah, well, you got a good point. It could be a conspiracy. It could. The only reason why I wear a mask when I go to the store is because that's more here in Atlanta. It's 1 million people in the stores. It's 1 million people, so you just don't know. But when I go other smaller places where it's 10 or less, I don't wear the mask. When I go see my clients, that kind of thing, I don't wear the mask or gloves. So it just depends on where I'm at. More people, you got more chances. So, but like you said, it could be some of this could be fabricated. I saw something where, the government is telling the hospitals to just claim it as COVID. They could have had COPD or a heart attack or something like that. But like you said, they're just doing a mass classification of COVID. So you don't know what to believe.
Because they just like everything. I heard they're getting, like, when they claim it COVID, they get extra money. So everybody's like, hey,
I saw that too.
I got a history of COPD. I can't breathe. I'm sick. Oh, you got COVID. Oh, you are, it's just like, okay, so you claiming everything to be COVID because you're getting a more of a reimbursement. But I heard someone tell me that the emergency rooms, a lot of the emergency rooms in the different cities are not packed. So if the COVID-19 is as bad, or the coronavirus is as bad as they say, then emergency rooms should be just as packed as they was when that stuff was really rolled out, in my opinion, because I feel like when it first hit, I feel like something was in the atmosphere. I will always believe that. Something was in the atmosphere, and I feel like the politicians and people knew about it a little long before they told us. So I'm curious, Dr. Anne-Marie, what are your thoughts?
So my immediate thoughts are, when we think about the mask and wearing them, it's really for other people. Because you can be a carrier of the COVID or anything else. You mentioned SARS or MERS or any other virus or bacteria that you think could be out there, even the regular flu as we know it. It's really about transmission to other people and transmission to vulnerable populations. I personally, I would feel bad if I am a carrier and I'm out interacting with somebody's kid and they get it. Or if I'm, somebody's grandmother or somebody else who is in the vulnerable population group, I would feel bad if I was responsible for transmitting that virus to them, and then they had to fight for their lives. I have a lot of people who are in Detroit, and folks are really going through it. A couple of people have died from it that I know are close to me. A couple of people have been in the hospital. My little nephew had it, and I don't really care what they call it, and I don't really care if it's a conspiracy or not. The fact is, people that I know are dying from it. My nephew is 1 year old, and he got it, and he had that rash, that funky little rash that they were talking about. Thank the Lord, he's healed from it. Before they even knew what was going on. He had it back in February. He was sick for about 2 weeks, but he healed from it. It's like, where is this rash? His whole body broke out in hives, et cetera, et cetera. And then we found out that his dad had it, so that's where he got it from. There's a little bit of tracing going on to find out.
So he tested positive?
He tested positive. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so that's part of the thinking of it. And then I have a lot of patients who are suffering from it. And then I've been on a lot of crime scenes where people have died from it. Again, to me, what they call it doesn't matter. What I know is people are dying from whatever it is that is here. And however it got here, whether it started in China, whether they dropped it by airplanes or put it in events at Walmart, it's here. And we as a people, I call it the reverse slave mentality. We have that mentality where, okay, I'm not going to believe anything that anybody says, and I'm also going to still do my own thing. I'm going to do the opposite of what they tell me because I know that they did this to me deliberately. That makes sense.
So, in all honesty,
you're only hurting yourself.
No, in all honesty, it makes so much sense, even more so coming from you because you know people firsthand in your life who have either been affected by it or passed away from it. So I do understand what you're saying, and I respect it. And I probably should, I'll try my best to do a lot better with. I really don't even go out that much unless I have to, in all honesty, because with me recently getting laid off and doing so many shows from home and stuff, I really don't go out very often. So but I will try to do so much better just because R. Marie and Dr. Marie and Lynn and everybody and even Van Miller on here telling me, wear your mask. What's wrong with you? So I'm going to try to do better. I promise I'm trying to do better. I promise I'm trying to do better. So I'm curious, like, how has this affected everyone? Like, for me, the COVID-19 coronavirus thing has affected me because I ended up losing or being laid off from my job because of a lack of work. Now, I'm a nurse, but I do not do direct care. I've been working in the insurance industry for a long time now. And because of the different, because of the coronavirus, a lot of product lines that we were servicing were closed down. And because they were closed down, that made work be limited, which they ended up laying me off because I was, agency anyway. Agency the first one to go, So that's how it affected me as far as that goes. But God protected me. He made a way for me. He has provided for me. He has sent people in my life who were assisting me and helping me or whatever. So I have not felt the blunt of what some people are experiencing as far as financial loss, only because I've had people, my family, and my boyfriend, I've had people helping me, so it hasn't hit me as hard. But God knows I didn't have seasons before coronavirus that shoot, you know what I'm saying? But I'm curious, like, how has the coronavirus affected your jobs and stuff? And I know, Misty, you're still taking care of things of that nature. So I'm gonna go to you, Lynn. Let's start with you. How has the coronavirus affected you as far as your job or your business or whatever?
Right. Well, in Atlanta, they call this urban Hollywood. So
right.
Entertainment world is what I deal with, and it's hurting. We hurting. I used to promote dancers, and there's no events. Who's gonna come out and dance? No line dance events, no salsa events, no Chicago stepping, no nothing. And we don't even know when we will have another event. So I used to do a lot of promoting, a lot of digital marketing, and that's been really at an all-time low for me. So, it's really bad. It's really bad. And not just Atlanta. A lot of dancers would come from all over. We try to make it happen online. We had a little dance contest online, but that is not the same. So,
I know, because y'all dancers don't play. Those steppers, Chicago steppers, Atlanta steppers, Cleveland, Ohio steppers,
yep.
all the steppers, that's a big community. In fact, we have, not to give away, but next Tuesday, we have two major stepper artists who are in the stepping world that are coming on the show. What's their? I don't, because I know you just without me slaughtering it. Lynn, who
yes,
are the two
Rockwell Harmon. Yes, we dance to his music all the time. Rockwell Harmon from New Jersey, and then Michonne Young in Indiana and Chicago. Chicago Steppers love both of those artists, and they're going to be on Patricia's show next Tuesday. So all the dancers will be tuned in. But in the meantime, we used to go see them. They used to come to our dance events and sing in person. Now they can't go on tour. They can't do any of that. All they can do is just sing live on Facebook or something like that. But that is not the same. So we're just trying to make it happen, do what we could do from the power of the internet, and just get creative. And but it's not the same. Which the dancers are talking about not doing anything again until next year, and that's horrible.
Yeah, that's because when I say the stepper community is a big freaking community, I don't know how it is, how big it is internationally, but I'm sure it's big. But I know in the United States, the stepper community is like they have a stepper thing going. They used to have a stepper thing going on. It seemed like every day of the week. Like it was big. Like when them steppers come, the whole place be packed and people be lined up to get in. Like that's a big community. So I know they are experiencing, they can't dance. They got to dance with their loved one around the living room because they can't even get out and mingle and be with everybody. Like that's rough. So the entertainment industry has been hit hard. You're right.
And let me tell you this one thing: the crowd favorite, the dancer of the dance contest, she danced with her suitcase at home, and she practically won. That's what we've been reduced down to. So
wow.
you see the idea of what? Yeah, but she was doing it though. She was getting down with that suitcase.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were very instrumental in bringing those two dance artists for us to listen to next week. So, I hope we're able to definitely help them, and I hope that things definitely get better, in the entertainment industry as far as money making and trying to figure out how to make money. Because, like you said, they at this point in the game, because there's no physical CDs, they're not selling CDs anymore. They're not selling tapes anymore. They're not selling records
Nope.
anymore. The only thing they're dealing off of
Nope.
is live streams, and who the hell really knows how many live streams is really being done? So if that's their only,
Exactly.
that's the only way they can make money right now, then that's not doing it. Especially if I know touring was the way they was making their money for sure, hands down,
That's
no
what
doubt.
I just was about to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. So now they can't even do that. Erykah Badu, I think she started off with charging people to watch her concert on the internet. Now we don't do that. We in the dance community we don't do that. But I guess that's how some artists is trying to make it. They do their live concert on the internet and charge for you to see it. So I guess that's one way to do it, but still, that's not the same. That is not the same.
It's not.
But I'm gonna go ahead and head out, you guys.
All right, peace and love
Thanks
to you.
Thanks for having me on, Patricia.
Love you, Lynn.
All right, love you too. Bye. Talk to y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Later.
So,
you respected me, Patricia, because I dance. And every year we do a production, and I felt real cheated because we start every September, right around the time school start, we start. And even though my dance is on a smaller scale, but it's something we look forward to. We do a partial production, like an excerpt of what we're doing. We usually choose, like last year, we did a tribute to Aretha Franklin. The year before that was a tribute to Prince. So we do, it's a lot. I do ballet, I take tap, I take hip hop. So after numerous nights of practicing, and and I also do liturgical dance with another one of the ladies in the dance group that has her own dance thing, but all of hers is spiritual and gospel. But it's like I worked so hard. And it kept me in shape, and it just became effortlessly. And you start off with everybody bumping into each other in September. By May, we are looking like expert performers. My teacher, China White, she is also on the board of the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater. So there's always several people in our dance and throughout the whole dance. So they start at age 2 to whatever. And, they go there, and a lot of times they'll come to our performance in May. It's always it's a Memorial Day tradition, So for the last 7 years, I've been enjoying this tradition. And then this year, just suddenly, everything came to a halt. And it's like all our dance routine, everything that I've worked so hard for and trying to critique, and it's over, and we're not starting back up until fall. So it was like all of that. From that to paying for the dance class, it's a huge disappointment. But I do understand that safety has to come first. But I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. But safety does. It has to come first. I don't want to go someplace for enjoyment only to be torn down.
Right.
So that was kind of hard. And I don't even think I told you, Trisha, but my oldest son, who is incarcerated, he has COVID-19 right now. So I've been nervous.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Because they can't, it's not like they can quarantine because there's a lot of men.
Where he at, Marie?
He's at Belmont Correction Institution. And
That's
he,
Ohio.
Yes, he's in Ohio. And he get out, next year, and then when I start seeing people that could get out a little bit early, and I was like hoping, I tried to do some maneuvering because my son is also a TB carrier. And I'm like, what the, so I'm stressed. I have strong faith. I pray every day, for all my children, but particularly him, because he's the one. As a nurse, I can't get to him. As a mother, I can't get to him, even though he's a grown man. But I told him everything that I know of, and I know that he works out a lot, and he has a pretty strong immune system. But, there's always that possibility, because he said a couple guys around him have died. I'm like, well, y'all haven't really been on TV, but they've been downplaying.
You know what? I know the only way that we even found out about what was going on in the jails is because some of the inmates found a way to find phones or get phones, which I have no idea how they get in there, but and they were basically streaming it and showing that, not only are y'all being affected out there, but also the prisoners in here, and they don't even care. Like, this man did a Instagram, and he was just showing the people in the prison that was just sick with it, and everybody was just all up on top of each other. You could tell they were just suffering, and it just made my heart feel so bad. Like, and then some people might be like, well, they're in prison, so who cares? No, that's not. They're still a human life, and they doing their time. They're paying for whatever they went in there for, or whatever the situation was. So, but they still need to be treated like human beings. Like, we are not God. So how
especially when you know that they didn't catch it themselves. It was bought in from the staff. But they can't leave.
My thing is,
they down to Burger King.
What you said?
You said what?
I said they weren't even allowed outside, so it's coming in. So it makes me think that are they spraying the sewer systems or the vents? Like, how's it getting inside? Y'all saying it's airborne and it's outside and to wear masks. How's it getting inside? It makes me think that it was put into the venting system or brought inside, because it's a lot of them dying, and it's very sad.
I don't even understand that. I've been hearing people talking about food shortage and that the animals are getting it, and I'm just trying to understand, how are animals getting it? How is it reaching to these different areas where there's not hardly any population of people? Like, it just, I don't know. It baffles.
The food. It's in the, I don't know. My opinion, it's in the meat. That's why we need to stop eating it. It's in the meat, because and I think they're spraying all the crops, the farmers' crops, and because the cows are eating the grass and all that stuff, and the hay getting eaten by the animals, and it's in the meat. I think it's the food. And
I know.
That's my opinion.
Wait a minute, I ain't never seen strawberries as big as they. Like, what are they feeding these strawberries?
Right.
I didn't see fruit. I'm like, I've never seen a strawberry that big. What did they pump that strawberry up with?
Exactly. That's why, I was looking at Dr. Farrakhan. He was on. I've been watching a lot of his little taping.
He's going in. He's going in and in.
Yeah, he's going in. He like, it's time for us to get back to the basics, to the old school ways. Get your gardens going. And then I got to thinking, like, well, shoot, who's to say that they don't go through the air and spray the gardens? You know what I'm saying? Like, just go through and spray all the low-income areas, or, the areas, period, and kill and put that stuff on our foods while we're sleeping or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm just going to believe in God and just do what I got to do,
Right.
But I know one thing I'm going to do is the meat is cut out for me. I'm cool.
Wow. So we're going to take a quick break, y'all. This is time to go get your lemonade, your wine, or whatever you do to relax. This is the youth bathroom, whatever you got to do. We're going to take a quick break on the Move Unscripted on purpose. We're going to play some music, and we'll be right back.
Crazy feed. Music.
Now you got everything that I've been searching for. All over, look high and low for. Now you're here, I just can't help but give my all. Come here, boy, I need you here, boy. your trance, my head's gone in a daze. Baby, you're the one that I love. Baby, you're the one that I love. Yeah, you're all I need. Footsteps so strong, they can never come between us. Yeah, you're all I need. You're my only, 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 my only. You're the one that I love, baby. You're the one that I love. Yeah, you're all I need. Be here by my side, don't let me down. Stay through our circumstance. Promise me you'll be here always. Take me, hold me, kiss me, love me, show me you're my man. I want this, baby, I want this. I don't know what you're doing to me. Wrapped up in your trance, my head's gone in a daze. Baby, you're the one that I love. Baby, you're the one that I love. Yeah, you're all I need. Footsteps so strong, they can never come between us. Yeah, you're all I need. You're my only, 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 my only. You're the one that I love, baby. You're the one that I love. Yeah, you're all I need. Yeah, you got everything that I've been searching for. All over, looked high and low for. Now you're here, I just can't help but give my all. Come here, boy, I need you near, boy. Baby, you're the one that I love. Baby, you're the one that I love. Yeah, you're all I need. Footsteps so strong, they can never come between us. Yeah, you're all I need. You're my only, 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 my only. You're the one that I love, baby. You're the one that I love. Yeah, you're all I Don't keep apologizing, 'cause everything's undone. You can never know what nothing might become. Yeah. If the only thing you do is dream, then you're spending all your life asleep. So where's the light when you never try and the tunnel never seems to end? Don't apologize for everything you're not. You know that everything was nothing else.
to you wondering and thinking how. And why you see me as a killer psycho. You scared to do it, so I feel I might go. I'll go ahead and beat it, then I'll feel like Michael. Mess you up unknowingly and fix you like a typo. Need to know the score like a fight go. I don't wanna blow it like a light bulb, cause girl you lit like a light show. Anything can happen at the night show. Why you wanna fuss and fight, yo? Like my intentions ain't right. I ain't the type of guy that you like, so I'ma go and be him for the night though.
Killer psycho, baby. Killer mind will play me. Left me going crazy. OD my love on the daily. Killer psycho, baby. Illest mind will play me. Left me going crazy. On painkiller love on the daily. Tango with my heartstrings. Tango with my veins slowly. We know what you did to me. Suffocate me, tease me and hurt me. Tell me you love me. Then say you don't, please don't you dare stop it and don't let it go of me. You know what I made for me. He just ain't love me and it's such a good thing. I love my freedom, yeah, he think I'm my peace. But now I can love me. Killer psycho, baby. Illest mind will play me. Left me going crazy. OD'd my love on the daily. Killer psycho, baby. Illest mind will play me. Left me going crazy. On painkiller love on the daily.
You tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted on Purpose with Patricia M. Goins. And today we got R. Marie on the line. We got Misty on the line. We had Lynn John on the line. We had Dr. Anne Marie on the line. I love when the ladies, when we get together and we just talk about whatever is on our mind. So this is kind of like vent moment. Let's just vent for a second. I just feel the need that we just, sometimes it's good to just release stuff to your sister girls and just talk about how you feel. So you get 5 minutes to just vent on anything, any topic, anything you want. We're going to start with you, R. Marie, and then we're going to go to Misty. So, R. Marie, vent on anything you want. Anything. Anything.
I don't really have much to vent on. It's been a blessed. I've been blessed, and it's crazy because once I start reading my Bible and doing stuff like that, it's amazing. I've asked God for the understanding, and so I'm going to Bible study, and my poppy is the teacher. He was kind of a boring preacher, but when I tell you he's an excellent teacher, I mean he's an excellent teacher. And so I'm learning and understanding, and he's teaching.
I've been there before at his church.
It's like the whole opening my eyes to a lot of things, because I went through a couple different situations where I normally would have spazzed out, flipped out, and I didn't do it. When my daughter tried to take me through some things, when we tried to talk and it kind of got crazy, the old me probably would have snatched her up. But I listened to her, plus I listened to her when we have our talks. So I listened to her and I'm like, I'm going to have to let you take your own journey, and she was upset because I didn't flip out. And it's like, it's so much better and it's so much more relaxing. And I discovered that, when you tell somebody no, you don't really owe them an explanation why, because if the answer is no, it is what it is, and that's what it was, so I don't know. This week, this whole last month or two has been about growth spiritually. And is DJ on the phone?
No, she wasn't able to come this week.
Oh well, Missy. Who's the one that had a problem with Missy? Are you on the? Are you on the air? Are you on?
The one who had a problem
I'm here.
with?
I'm here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't here last week. You talking about the week before?
Yeah, because you weren't on last week. I don't. Okay, yeah, because you and I kind of was going through some of the similar things.
Right.
But every morning I listen to Joel Osteen, if you heard of him. I don't like pastors that scream and yell, scare you with the Bible. And Joel Osteen he's very calm and kind of comedic, but I understand everything he was saying. If you get a chance, YouTube him in the sermon called "Drop It." When I listen to the sermon, because I listen to it in the mornings, it helps start my day. So when I listened to that particular sermon, it really, you were the first face that popped up in my mind. Me and your face popped up in my mind, like, oh, I got to at least tell her about it. Rather you listen, because all his sermons is no more than 27 minutes, but it is so close to what we are going through.
Right.
So if you get the opportunity, just check it out and get back with me and let me know what you think. But besides that,
listen to Joe. Huh?
I said, besides that, there's nothing for me to vent on. If anything, I'm moving this year. I'm actually moving in a couple months. Haven't even begun to look. I'm going to start looking next month. And it's not even, and I shouldn't refer I have to walk by faith. And that's when I think of you, Trisha. You go, Maria, just walk by faith and not by sight. But it's hard not to, there's anxiety because I've not moved in 23 years. So there's anxiety. But I'm excited, but I'm more scared than I am excited.
Come move to my area so we can be living near each other and stuff. My neck of the woods. All right, then. Okay. So, what about you, Misty? 5 minutes to vent. What do you want to vent on?
I'm gonna take it to the same direction and say I'm not venting. I've been going through things since the end of last year, November, right after Thanksgiving, with the new neighbor moving in with bed bugs really bad. So I lost everything I owned, except for my vehicle. That's about the only thing that I was able to save, and like a tote full of trinkets and stuff with my grandma's stuff. But I mean, I literally lost everything. I had moved from a 4-bedroom house to a 2-bedroom apartment because I downsized. All the kids were grown, so, but I lost everything that I had. And after that, I've been, with my grandbaby constantly, and from going from me by myself to the baby, 2-year-old, and every day, all day, waking up, going to bed, and I was getting frustrated. And I want to also thank you, Patricia, for helping me on my birthday, for talking to me. Several different people called me, and it made me feel much better. And then, my son, he got in trouble, and he's in jail, and, and just the parenting part of it, and I was going through, a whole bunch, and my friend Tina, she helped me. She called me and came over to see about me and stuff, and she even bought me a Mother's Day and birthday gift because my birthday the 7th, and Mother's Day is the 10th, so, and she talked to me and uplifted me as well. And I actually am looking at the positives out of it, because I'm still getting blessed in the midst of it. Like I said, obedience is better than sacrifice. I looked at it. I said, you know what? I was being disobedient to the Lord because he had been telling me to get rid of a lot of things that I was holding on from that 16-year relationship. I had purses, shoes, hats, clothes, a whole bunch, and I was holding on, and that was what was keeping me holding on to the love that I had for him, and not being able to let go because I was still keeping in contact as well. So I lost everything because I was being disobedient. So I said, okay, thank you, Lord, for showing me that. I appreciate it. Hey, it was my fault, my daughter, as far as me always having a baby, I did that also to myself, but the blessing is I'm able to be around her, and another incident that happened when my son got caught up, and it was his court date the other day. I couldn't go to court because I was stuck here in the house with the baby, and I had already told my daughter, make sure you home before, tomorrow, because my son got court, and she wasn't here. But the blessing out of that was the mother of the girl that he is going back and forth to court with was down there raising all kind of hell, calling me, threatening me and all that, and everybody that they know me, I would have ended up in jail. So God blocked that. So that's another blessing. So I took the anger from me being angry for my daughter for her not being here into, God, you know what, you just blessed me. Like, thank you, Lord. I would be in jail if I wasn't sitting here. You knew it was going to happen before it happened. I just didn't know. But I thank you, Lord, because you blocked that, and I'm not in jail. I'm sitting at home,
Right.
I mean, I just count my blessings. When Tina was talking to me, she said, well, count it all joy, and I'm like, you know what, you're right, because the way that things happened with my son, it could have played out much worse, and it could have been a bloody mess. I just thank God that he wasn't home at the time, and it didn't go down like it could have. God blocked that as well. He had him leave, and what could have happened, possibly happened, didn't happen. It would have been some lives lost, and I just thank God. So I'm noticing, I'm realizing the blessings out of all the mess, and it's much more that I've been going through. But honey, we'll be here all night. 5 minutes ain't long enough. But I'm just blessed and highly favored, and I'm real. And Lord is showing me. He's showing me all of the blessings that's coming. Oh, another thing as well. Everybody don't have money and stuff, so. This is another blessing that came to me last night. It was really late. A lady said, I'll put up all the money if you need me to. You just give me what you got. I got the rest. And I was like, well, look at God. I'm like, oh, my God, like God is good. So in the midst of all the mess, I'm still getting blessed. So God is good, and I'm not going to complain. And, it had me down for a while, but then when I started realizing, hold on, he's still blessing me. Keep your head up, because trouble don't last always.
Before I vent, I just want to speak to both of you individually, you, Marie, and you, Missy. So first, you, Marie, I understand the fear of change, especially as you start to get older. I think as we as women, or even individuals, when we start to get older, change. Now we understand why Grandma never wanted you to move that chair from over there in the corner by the window, even though the chair was old as heck. No, leave my chair alone. I've had that since JoJo was a baby. We don't like change. I understand that, but I also know that when you step outside of your fear or outside of your comfort zone, and you face your fear and you do something that you may even be afraid of doing, but you start making the steps, the way is made. Like, wherever you're supposed to be, Marie, wherever, the new home, the new place you call home, wherever that is, that place was already prepared for you and is waiting on you. When you're ready and when you feel comfortable enough to walk away from your family, because I know you've been in that neighborhood a long time, so that means your family's used to you being there. They're used to being able to say, hey, Marie, can you, hey, what you got, hey, they're used to that because you've been in that community for so long, and you've been the person, the backbone, and all that kind of stuff. But when you get to the point,
my mother's trying to find all kind of ways to keep me here. Like, well, if we could try to get the roof, well, maybe we can get the. I'm like, Ma,
that's in your spirit. You have to follow what's in your spirit, because the next level of whatever God has for you might be at that new place. There might be a neighbor that you're supposed to connect to. There might be somebody that's in that area that you need to minister to, or there might be somebody who has an opportunity that you're not going to meet until you go to that place. Like, if you're feeling in your spirit that it's time to move, then it's time to move, and you just gotta trust God in the process. And it does, and you can't look at what everybody else wants. You have to look at what's going to make me happy. Because if you spent, how long have you been there? How long have you been living there?
23 years.
So if you spent 23 years being there because you knew everybody in the family wanted you there, now it's time to look at you. You've given, you've paid, you've did your dues, you've done it. It's time for you to be happy now. And so they just need to be able to understand that. And if they can't understand that, then that's something that you gotta leave in God's hands. But go by what's in your spirit, and then just start looking. God said, "Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open." That means if you ask Him, the moment you ask Him, He's already sending angels, dispatching angels to the situation. You know what I'm saying? And when you knock, that door is going to open, the right door. Every door you knock on may not open, but the door that's supposed to open is going to open. You know what I'm saying? Asking you receive, seeking you shall find. You skin and knocking, you might have to knock on 10 doors, but that 11th door that you knock on is going to be the door that you're supposed to walk through. Asking and receive, seeking you shall find, knocking the door will be open. So you just got to go by your heart and do what you feel is right, and then don't worry about the rest. So for you, Misty, I just want to say, when you first started on the Move Unscripted on Purpose with me, you told me, you said, I was afraid to use my voice. And God told me it's time for me to start using my voice so that I can speak for people who normally are not at that level and are afraid to speak. So you being where you are right now is just testimony to the fact that you have a mission and a purpose. So anytime you have a mission and a purpose, anytime you're doing something for the kingdom, you're doing something for God, you've got to know that the road is not going to always be easy. In fact, that's when it becomes more turbulent. When you just kicking it and you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's going to bless other people. The road might seem like, oh, this is cool. But the moment you say, you know what, I'm going to do this in spite of, it seemed like all kind of stuff will come and make it seem like, okay, this ain't the time for me doing this because I got this going on and I got that going on and I got this. Like, I ain't really got time for this. But you know that at the beginning of this journey, God told you this is what you're supposed to do. So that means you need to walk the journey and know that you are going to be blessed for every hardship I went. Listen to what I'm saying to you, Misty. If you don't listen to nothing else I ever say, oh my God. Everything that you're going through.
I listen to everything you say.
Everything right now, every single hardship, every tear, every trial and tribulation, every downfall, every loss, everything that you're going through right now, God is going to give it back to you double. When you get through this season, know that the next season is going to be better. He's going to restore. He's going to give you back everything. You're just going through your this is your training. This is your shaping period. This is your time where you might feel like I'm being pulled in this direction and that direction, but that's molding you and shaping you to be the woman that God wants you to be. So when you step out of this, you're going to be able to look back. Even people are even watching you now. There's people right now who's listening who's in your exact same situation. They're dealing with a house full of bed bugs. That shit is not easy. It's not like it's hard to come by. They're dealing with that. They're dealing with children that are going in the courts or in jail or going through trial and tribulation, and they crying tears like they're going through what you're going through. So you're ministering and you coming out and being that voice that God told you to be, that is helping people. So get through your storm and know that it's temporary. This is temporary. Everything I went through in my life, God knows, from childhood being abused to going through my turbulent relationships to being in Atlanta and going through, I went through the same thing. Believe it or not, there was a period of time that I had moved to. I knew God told me to come back to Columbus. This is the time I know God told me to come back. This is when my father first got sick, but I did not want to come back to Ohio. Instead, I went chasing my son's father, went to Atlanta. I did what I needed to do for my father, but not in the way that God told me to. So I went to Atlanta anyway because I'm like, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be in Columbus. I don't want to go back there. So I went to Atlanta. When I went to Atlanta, I went through some of the hardest freaking years. There was a period when I went down there, I had a job, I had a car, I had everything set up for me. It seemed like it would have been an easy thing. But as soon as I got there, turbulence hit me the first month because the woman didn't even want me there. The job that I was at, the manager didn't even want me there. She didn't want me to transfer. So she made it hard for me from the beginning. I ended up losing my car. How you move to a state with a job card and everything, and within 30 days you losing everything because they're not paying you. It was crazy what I went through, but it was because for one, I was obedient, and for two, that was the shaping of me. So when I lost the car, I ended up losing my home. I had to go into a hotel. The hotel was infested with freaking bed bugs, but I had to go to work every day with marks on my arm, crying because I had to save money and try to figure out a way to get another place for my kids. Like, I've been, baby, when I say I've been through so much. I went through so much in Atlanta. So for me to have a billboard in the state that I went through the most turmoil in my life.
Congratulations.
Oh my God, nobody will ever understand. You know what I'm saying? So just know that there is something after this. And that something is going to be far greater. You just can't see it right now. When I was in that hotel fighting off them bed bugs, I couldn't even visualize how I was going to complete that movie, how I was going to move forward, how I was going to find another place, what I was going to do. And I never envisioned end up coming back home and there being a freaking however many feet tall billboard with my freaking face on it for a TV series. Come on now. You just hold on. You hold on. Okay,
I got a couple more testimony too.
So,
remember, I was going. Can I testify real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was going through with my intestinals. I had the 18.1 pounds of poop and all that stuff. Went through the hospital and all that, and the Lord told me I was going to be off for the winter months. So, you know, I was being disobedient because I was still trying to work, but he sent somebody my way, and she really, he really came through her. The Holy Spirit was really there. So I stopped looking for work and everything. So when the Lord gave me, I'm going to be the voice for everybody. And I said, okay, well, I really don't want to do nursing anymore. I'm burnt out, and plus, the COVID stuff. So I'm like kind of scared to go back to work. I done got offered a position at the Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority. I'm like, oh, Jesus, because I'm still getting blessed through everything. I'm still getting blessed. So I can't complain.
Amen.
So,
God is good, and he's going to continue to use your voice because in spite of everything that you're going through, you still managed to call in and be a part of this show, and be a voice for women. So you're still doing what God told you to do when I first, asked you to be on here. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all the women that come on here. So for me, I got a vent, right? Yeah. And I'm going to need my sisters to help me through this vent right here. So, Dan, people are watching you even when you don't know they're watching, right? People are following you even when they don't acknowledge that they're following you. So I'm sitting here. Kenny was going through, Mr. Stout, I'm sorry. He was going through some different programs, and he ended up on Pluto TV, which I hadn't even heard of Pluto TV before. I promise you, I'd never heard of it before. But he stumbles across Dee Hughley's new TV series. And so it tripped me out because when I watched the beginning of it, it came on exactly the way that On the Move Unscripted comes on. Unfiltered, uncut, uncensored, unscripted. I'm just like, did he use every word that I use? Did it come on? Did he use every single word? Like that is, and I'm just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that in the entertainment industry, they're always fishing for content. They're always fishing for what can they do, this, that, and the other. And, of course, if they're already out there in the masses, people are not going to know the shows that are not at that level yet. But I literally watched Dee Hughley's comedy show and seen him say everything that I say for On the Move Unscripted, every single word. And I'm just like, are you serious? He literally, his show is called Uncut, but then he says it's uncut, it's unfiltered, it's unscripted. I'm just like, are you for real? I don't really, you know what? But I'm not tripping on it. I just know that I know where that came from because you just started that show. Ain't no way that our minds is that much on the same freaking line that you're able to describe the show verbatim, unscripted, uncut, How long have I been saying that? Like, ever since we've been on the move, which is 3 years now, following you when they don't know. So that's my little, my little 5 minutes of, like, have me on your show, Dee Hughley, instead of using all my freaking words.
Exactly.
But it is on iHeartRadio, and people listen. Like, you don't know who's all watching you, following you. Even on your block or in your community or at your job or whatever, you just don't know who's watching you, who's following you, who's, you just don't know. So that was something. And then I want to say, as far as the daughters, the children, me and my kids have always had the greatest relationship. I ain't lying. Even in the midst of the trials and tribulations, my baby was like, boom. But sometimes children don't always speak what they feel. So your kids might be going through stuff with you, and they may never say anything about what they're going through, but that don't mean they're not internalizing it. That don't mean that they're not experiencing it, and that doesn't mean that that's not going to affect them. So now, with my kids being older and they're able to voice how they feel, and I listen to Isaiah and he's rapping about our experiences, I'm like, oh Lord, it really, touched him. Even though he still had fun, like most kids have fun, but still the reality is we was going through hardships and they was going through it with me. And so now they're speaking out about their experiences just like I did. I started speaking out through this. When I wrote my book, This Can't Be Love, I spoke about my experiences. So now my kids are starting to speak out about their experiences, and they're starting to look at me like, well, we're grown now, so we can say this to you because this is how you say to us, And I'm just thinking, like, am I really talking to y'all like that? Is that the way that I come across? Because if that's so, then I know I need to start changing, something about me, because if you are a reflection of me and I'm not liking what I see in you, then I know there got to be something about me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Am I making sense?
Right.
Am I making sense? Marie, am I making sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Marie, you there?
Yes, I am. Yes,
okay.
You do make, because I was doing stuff in the background too, so I muted it. But yeah, I completely agree, because they are a reflection of who you are, and I see myself in all four of my children in different ways. But there are things about each one of them that I don't like. Every last one. Not one of them is exempt from that. But I think that's just being human, because they're not us, so they're going to be who they are in their own way. And still, they're a reflection of us. They're going to always have a part of us in them, but they have to be their own person.
So my question is, the part in them that we do not like, the part in them that we cannot stand, is that a mirror reflection of us?
No,
we don't like?
To me, not to me. To me, I mean, because they're also who they are. So, I don't believe so. I believe that's who they are. Just only half of your genes is in them. So, I mean, they're also a reflection of their genetically made up biological father. So, I mean, you got two mixtures. And then they create their own little self. So some parts of you, but there's certain that, like, if one of them do something that you don't like, and then you think back like, oh yeah, I remember getting on my mom's nerves doing this. So, and that part is a reflection of me. But then some stuff that they're doing that I don't like don't have nothing to do with me. Like, where are you picking this up? But they're also, how they grew up. They grew up on computers. They grew up with Facebook. I mean, we didn't have computers. We actually interacted. I actually walked downstairs. I thought my daughter and her sister and her three cousins, they were all downstairs. I'm like, well, they must have went out. They didn't go out. They were sitting up there on Facebook not making a sound. You could hear an ant pissing walking across the floor. It was so quiet. And I just thought they weren't in the room. Whereas when we gather around, we talk. I called a younger person, one of my clients. She's a little young. And I kept calling her. She was like, Miss Roberta, is people really talk still these days? Why ain't you, text me or, Facebook? I'm not doing none of that because I called you. That's why I want to hear your voice. I need to know. Well, you could have done. We grew up in different eras, just like we're a little wilder than what our parents' era was. I'm assuming. I believe so. But they didn't have as much though. But no, when they make you upset, it might be a small portion of you, but the bulk of that is just a part of who they are or a part of who they're becoming.
So we have somebody who's watching us from London. What's up, Regine? How you doing? We have somebody on the live who's listening in from London. She's an artist. What's going on? Oh my God! So we made it all the way to London. You see what I'm saying? All around the way. So
right.
I guess that's what I'm. For me, it's more like I know that God told me to come back home to Ohio. Ben told me, didn't want to do it. Went through them hardships because I was disobedient. Like y'all got to know that when God puts something, when you know in your inner man, your spirit tells you this is what you're supposed to do. God is telling you, these are your instructions. This is what you're supposed to do, and you know it's coming from God. This ain't no, I wonder if this is something from God. Like you know it, and you still refuse to do it. Understand that you're going to go through a wilderness experience. It's just like you're saying, let me I sign up for the wilderness experience because I don't want to do what I know you told me to do, guys. So when you're in that wilderness experience and you're like, oh my God, why did I not do what I know I was supposed to do? But when you come out of it, you're stronger, you know. So I went through my wilderness experiences, and some of what I went through and my kids went through, now I'm having to deal with the repercussions through my kids, because it's just like, okay, you were so focused on this and we was riding with you, but this is how we felt. And now that we're old enough to tell you how we felt, now you about to know. And I'm like, I don't like you telling me how you feel. And they're just like, well, deal with it, because we're old enough to tell you we didn't like that. You know, just like people who stay in abusive relationships with men and they have kids and the man is beating them up, you know, day and night, and the kids are watching, and they may not say nothing when they're young. When they're young, they may not say nothing about it. You might hear them cry, you know, or scream or whatever, but they may never tell you anything until they get to be 23, 24, 25. And at that point, they're going to say, listen, because of you, I feel this anxiety, or I feel this fear, or I feel this way, or angry about this, that, and the other, because of what you allowed us to see or experience or whatever. It's like when they get older, they just feel like they can tell you everything, and I don't know if I want to hear all that. But I feel bad, and I'm just like, it's going to make me feel sad sometimes, because I know that they're speaking from their reality and they're speaking from their truth. And sometimes the way that they deliver it, I don't like it. But then they say, well, that's how you deliver. And I'm just like, for real, you know? So that's what I'm saying, is sometimes what we don't like in our children is that really, did they get that from us? Are we looking at a mirror of who we are? But we just don't want to admit it. But we don't like that about ourselves. We can't stand seeing it in our kids. What'd you say?
My opinion is, with three of my girls, I actually do. I'm looking in the mirror, because the way that they say stuff and how they talk to me, and they say, you know, just like you just said, that's how you say it to me. And I, you know, sit there and I think like, Dad, did I sound like that? Like I had to have, and because I see myself a lot in them, you know, because they only had me. So even though they're 50% mine, biologically, and 50% of their dads, they only knew me and they grew up only around me. So they have more of me in them than their father's side, you know. So, and all the other things that did take after their father's side, I don't notice, because I only see me, you know. I believe for myself, I'm looking at the mirror.
Because I have a friend that his father wasn't really in his life until he became an adult. But a lot of their characteristics are similar. They're very much the same. Very much the same. And he was like, that's crazy. He said, it's crazy we kind of had the same things in common, because he didn't raise me. Yeah, I could count on one hand how many times he saw me when I was a kid. And there's some animosity about that, because his father has other children, and he'll it's clear that, you know, but back in, I'm looking at his father's age, in that era, men were taught to, baby their daughters and show them that they're supposed to be princesses, but, boys need to be men. Why are you crying? You're a man. Now they say, oh, you cry. It's emotion. But 20, 30 years ago, I'm like, man, you a punk, man, stop that damn crying. I mean, and I can't speak for every community. I can't even say that about every black community, but for the bulk of them, that's how I saw men coming up. So genetics play a role, and whether they've never been around their father or seldom been around their father, you will be shocked how many characteristics that they are similar to their father.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. You be like, just like your daddy. So we're gonna take a quick break, y'all. Play a little bit of music, and we'll be right there.
Through the years there were times I felt like I was losing my mind. Never thought I'd get to this place where I found the peace inside. In the darkness, I found my light. I found peace in the tears I've cried. Now I've got a million reasons for life. We can rise if we don't fall, nah, nah. If you're low, now lift your head higher. What's yours, no one can take away. Thank God in every way. Now I see better days, better days. Only better days, better days. We can rise if we don't fall, nah, nah. All the pain, it made me grow stronger. I see better days, better days. Only better days, better days. I remember the times I felt like there was no hope inside. But even when it hurt, I found my worth in the faith to strive. In the darkness, I found my light. I found peace in the tears I've cried. Now I've got a million reasons for life. We can rise if we don't fall, nah, nah. If you're low, now lift your head higher. What's yours, no one can take away. Thank God in every way. Now I see better days, better days. Only better days, better days. We can rise if we don't fall, nah, nah. All the pain, it made me grow stronger. I see better days, better days. Only better days, better days. Better days. If you're alone, feel broken, with so many words left unspoken, let it be heard, let your heart open. Now is the time, now is the time. If you're alone, feel broken, with so many words left unspoken, let it be heard, let your heart open. Now is the time, now is the time. We can rise if we don't fall, nah, nah. If you're low, now lift your head higher. What's yours, no one can take away. Thank God in every way. Now I see better days, better days. Only better days, better days. We can rise if we don't fall, nah, nah. All the pain, it made me grow stronger. I see better days, better days.
That's the step one we are, aren't we? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Tell me, baby, is it a mistake? I've been giving more than I take. Do you ever miss me when I'm gone? I need to know. If you don't let me go, what do I mean to you? Make you do the things you do. What does it signify? Where am I? And I keep forgetting me. There's no immunity from love I can't deny. Where am I? Am I the one for you? Will I grow old with you? Am I irreplaceable? When you look into my eyes, what do you see? Making up that you don't really care. Playing with my mind is unfair. I wanna hear you tell me that I'm wrong. I need to know. If you feel love, let it show. What do I mean to you? Make you do the things you do. What does it signify? Where am I? And I keep forgetting
like, who am I? And that's actually an exclusive song. I believe it's about to be released. But she was an artist that came on Tuesday with me and Mr. Stout, and we were able to interview her, and that was awesome. She's amazing. We got some of the best artists that comes on Tuesdays for interviews, and a lot of them allow us to debut their music. Some of them allow us to promote their music. Like, it's really awesome and amazing. So anyway, back to the wonderful women that are on the line tonight. So is there anything, I just want to be quiet for a second and let y'all run the floor. So whatever y'all want to talk about, whatever you feel in your spirit, that maybe words of encouragement or, just whatever you want to talk about in these last few minutes, I just want to leave the floor. We generally have other ladies on, but this week they had other things they had to do. But we appreciate everyone whenever they stop by on Thursday nights and just chat with us or whatever. So I don't know, whoever wants to start first.
I'll go real quick because then I'm going to mute and then finish doing what I was doing. I forgot about my friend LaDonna in West Virginia. She called me. She's been calling me for almost every day since I reached out to her. We both actually are Tauruses, so we both just had a birthday. But she's, thank you. But she's been going through the same thing.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. She, was just telling me helping me out because, this is my first time ever going through this with a child getting incarcerated and stuff, and looking to face some real serious time. So she's just been really, really giving me a lot of information and really helping me through this and just telling me what to expect and all that. And lifting me up as well. Like, keep your head up, girl. Everything gonna be okay. We can't, let me know. Like, we got to keep on pushing. We can't let it stop. It don't stop here. We got to keep on going. Yeah, we mothers. We're going to be there for our kids. But you still got to do what you got to do for yourself. So, you can't just keep giving your all because if we keep giving our all, we're not going to have enough for us. But, she keeps me encouraged and lift up. She's checking in with me every single day. I just want to make sure I give the shout-outs to everybody that is calling and checking on me and praying for me and stuff, even the ones that I don't even know about. And, Patricia, I want to tell you that you are such an inspiration, whether you realize it and know it or not. You touch hearts of many women. A lot of us keep silent. Some of us speak out. You're very uplifting and encouraging, and you give a lot of advice and I appreciate you calling me, too, because we spent a lot of time on the phone on my birthday. You uplifting and encouraging me and listening to me and giving me the time to vent and not really say anything so I can let you know where I was in my headspace and what I was going through. So, you might expect me. I might come on. I might not. Plus it was my birthday. But I just want you to know, too, that you are inspiration to a lot of women. Whether they tell you or not, I always try to keep you in the loop and in the know that you do inspire me a lot. I've been knowing you almost all my life. I think I was probably about 10 and a half when I met you, so that's over 30 years. And I've always looked at you as my big sister and will continue. You're such an inspiration and just keep on doing what you're doing. It's not only for everyone else, it's for you too, and I love you for being all that you are, that the Lord created you to be for everyone, and including yourself, and you keep us lifted up, and we're going to keep you lifted up, and we love you, girl, and congratulations on your billboard. Oh, my God. God is so good. Congratulations.
You know what?
I know Mom proud of you, and your kids proud of you, too.
Yeah. Originally when I did Why Did I Become a Model, it was only solely for my daughter. Like, I never would have entered into that for myself. I was really just trying to do it for my daughter, but then I had to realize that my daughter will do it when she's ready. You know what I'm saying? And you can't force, I think sometimes we as parents, we can see what our kids can't see about themselves. And so we try our dreams for them, for what we want them to be, onto them, but they have to be ready. You know what I'm saying? They have to be ready. And you can't make them be ready, because if you try to make them be ready, that's just going to make them resent you. So originally I was doing it all for my daughter, but the tables turned and it ended up being an opportunity for me too. And it was not expected. Um, I really only submitted the video because God literally told me to, and it was a last minute thing. So the fact that they allowed me to be on Why Did I Become a Model Quarantine Edition, where I was able to talk to whoever sees it and speak to them and do what I normally do on Facebook Live when God inspires me in the morning, was a blessing. It was an unexpected blessing. And then even getting the opportunity to have the billboard, that was an unexpected blessing. But I know it's all in God's will. So I appreciate you so much, because I share a lot of my personal life. Some people might be like, why do you tell all your business? It's not even like that. It's like I just feel like this is the path that God has chosen for me to go down, to inspire people, and for people to be able to see what it means when you truly step out on nothing but faith. So I thank you.
And I've always said, and on this side, me living my life, with God ahead of it, putting Him first. My life is an open book. Before, I always be like, I don't tell people my business. Like, no, we don't do all that, But now it's like my life is an open book. I have nothing to hide, So anything anybody want to know, ask me. Or if I tell you, so I'm not gonna tell you, just sit and tell you my business. But you know what I'm saying. I ain't got nothing to hide. So,
Right. Because sometimes it's not really about telling your business. It's really about giving a testimony. And when you are able to talk about what you went through and how God brought you through, that's a testimony. And some people need those testimonies. You never know who is watching you at any moment, and they might be at their last draw, and they may feel like there is nothing there is no way they're going to be able to get out of this situation, whatever, and they might just happen to come across this show or listen to, or you might just end up talking to them or call them on the phone, or they might see one of your posts or your videos, and that what you say might really be meant just for them, or or they may be one of the people that God wanted to see or hear what you had to say. Like, I don't believe anybody who comes across my live, whether it's 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, or 250 people, I always believe those people were planted there because they were supposed to hear something that I had to say that God had to say. So I appreciate you for using your voice. Oh, so thank you, Misty.
Yeah.
So
when Trish first asked me, Trish first asked me to come on, I was like, yeah, okay, and not knowing what to expect, but this has been so fun. This has been so enlightening. I've been inspired. I've been amazed how I felt connected to everybody that's on the show. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I do that. Wow. Well, I try to work with young girls. Wow. Well, I've been through this stuff. I was a teenage mom. So it's like it's a connection with each person, which was so wow to me. But I've enjoyed it. And I'm learning, and I'm growing, and I'm feeling the growth. I'm truly understanding.
No one knows, but Marie, I have to remember to put the R before the Marie. Sorry, Maria. But I've known R. Marie since high school, and nobody knows that what inspired me to write. In all honesty, what inspired me to become a writer and to even start back reading books was R. Marie bought me a book on my birthday. I hadn't read in forever, and then she allowed me to read her manuscript, and it was her manuscript that opened my eyes to the ability to be in a writer. I always loved writing, but I never thought of myself as an author. I never thought about actually writing a full book. But it was after reading R. Marie's manuscript that I was inspired. And so I just want to encourage you, R. Marie, to continue in that gift because you have a gift for words. You have a gift for writing. When I read your first manuscript, I was so blown away. So, and I know the trials and tribulations of life have come in and has caused you to have to put it kind of like on the back burner. But I encourage you to pick it back up because you are a gifted writer. You have motivated me so over the years, like God only knows. When I felt like nobody else understood me, you would just be like, Patricia, they don't understand you because you're different, but I understand you. It's like you would always understand. You would be able to verbalize it to me in a way that I was able to say, okay, it's okay to be different. I don't got to be like everybody else. No, I'm not like everybody else. I'm different. I've always been.
That's why I was drawn to you, because I'm like, because everybody tried to be cool, everybody tried to be this, everybody tried to fit in some type of, in some type of clique, but you was your own clique. And your imagination just wowed me, even in high school. Like, where is she coming up with this crazy stuff? But, we're in Challenge English 12, where everything is stale and boring. And out of everybody else's project, we had the most creative. It was humorous. It was knowledgeable. We had the scientific theory. And we had the best paper. All because we had somebody that had no problem stepping outside the box. Everybody want to be cool, but
that's when we wrote about the box. Is that when I talked about the space herpes when we was out and everybody was in a spaceship?
Yes. Everybody looked at you like, what? And I forget, I don't know if it was Evanston or Livingston, because he was in our group too, and he just looked at you so angrily. But then once he got into it, he really got into it, and he was a serious kid, playful, but, prankful and playful, but serious. He wasn't playing around with his education and all that, so he wanted to make sure it was going to be something worth doing, and we did a awesome job, which is crazy because out of a lot of things in high school that I've actually forgotten, that's one thing that sticks out. I'm so excited about my tomorrow, like what's going on tomorrow. I'm so excited. It's motivated. I'm finding myself awakening. Because, in the Bible it says, if a lot of people didn't have their best years as a kid, or they may have went through a horrible childhood, but he promises that your latter life will be greater than your younger life. Mm-hmm. So you don't know. Just like with this COVID, it's taking some people out, but there's also that 113-year-old woman who made it through. Anything can happen. This woman is over a century, and she went through COVID, and she beat COVID. She made it through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I applaud you, R. Marie, because, I know you've been a nurse a long time, and with somebody who is on the front line and who actually goes into the homes of patients, and in spite of everything that's going on, you're still giving it your all. Like, I can never stop commending you. I can never stop, appreciating you. And I'm even going to wear my mask because of you and everybody, fussing at me. So when I go back out next time, I'm going to find me a mask just because, I understand. I do understand. I have my own theories, my own whatever. But like Dr. A. Marie said, it's not really about you and you and you and you. Sometimes it's just about the comfort of other people and just making them feel at peace. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how you feel. When someone comes near you and we're dealing with a pandemic, no matter what, seeing a mask in your face gives them peace, even if that peace is imaginary or whatever. So I'm going to give me a mask, Maria. I'm going to do it. But you know what? The funny thing is, with me being very quiet in high school and not really having a whole lot of friends, it's like you just kind of like, I don't know if you just looked at me like she's different. Let me go ahead and be her damn friend because ain't nobody else messing with her. But we had some of the most funnest years. Like, oh my gosh, like,
oh yeah,
and your family just loved. They just took me under their wing, and it was just cool. Like, We had some.
I'm blessed with my family, even though sometimes they get on my nerve. I'm very blessed that we grew up very tight, you know, and even to this day, you know, my brother lived 5 doors down, and at some point in the middle of the night after it snowed, which it hasn't been hardly any this year, but when it did have that heavy snow, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm hearing this crack. I'm like, what in the hell? I get up. My brother's out there shoveling my porch, my steps all the way down to my sidewalk to where I parked my car. Then he did my mom. You know, I mean, they look out. We look out for each other because, you know, back in the day when we didn't have much, we had to. So now we don't really have to, but, you know, we're getting older. Like, we need to.
Right.
to.
Right. And
you know, everybody that came over.
Some of our hardest years were actually the most funnest years. I ain't gonna lie. I talk about a lot of hardships that I went through in Atlanta, but I don't talk about all the fun times. Like Atlanta is the entertainment mecca. It really is. And even though I struggled on many levels in relationship, personal, whatever, I still had just as much fun, and my kids did too. Like, we might have had our hard times, party like rock stars. And as far as the creative field, Atlanta was always fertile for me in the entertainment area. It was just all the other part that really matters, like the business and the work. That was my hardest time. But
I went through one of your down times. Remember? Oh my God! I said I went through one of your down times when I came to see you. Yes, for a week. I was supposed to stay with you, girl. It was crazy. It was crazy. That was a whirlwind. But then also remember, like, when, like, you got your place and I came down, brought my daughters down. I mean, they cried. They didn't want to leave. They did not. They begged me for almost a year, like, can we move down there with Mr. Turkey? We got out of my church. We want to go down. What is that? I'm like, look. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to leave Mary Lou. As my grandma, who was my next door neighbor, I'm like, I cannot leave Mary Lou.
I miss her.
But I
don't want this to cut off on you. So do your last shout outs. You got 30 seconds. This is gonna cut off on us.
Everybody be blessed. Have a safe week.
On the Move Unscripted on Purpose. Tune in on Monday, me and Be Love. Much love to you, Maria, my friend of 30-something plus years. Peace and love to you, Misty, everybody tonight. Peace and love to y'all. So I'm going to come out. I'm going to do something before this cuts off on me. So I'll see you next week, next time. Same spot, same channel, same something. Peace and love.
I'll never be home by myself, thinking that you're out with somebody else. No. Once have to hear empty promises, worrying about how that you just ain't on a song. Don't have to hide what I feel, cause you know the type to mess up what is real. I know you don't, I know I won't, no. I just wanna stay here by your side, cause I know that you're gonna treat me right. And I think thought that I feel this way. It took me a while, now I'm here to say yes. Gave you my heart, now it won't break. Took me a while, now I'm here to say yes. No, I don't have to question your love. The way that you kiss me, I can't get enough. Oh, this ain't dominance, it's stable. You always lay all the cards on the table. And when I'm talking about you, I know you